The Philippines. We have been here now over 3 weeks, almost a month. Did we like it? We have been to 5 different places in this country, and today I want to give you kind of like a full review of our time here, of our opinion, of our feelings. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Philippine travel series, and that's what you're gonna see in the next 3 weeks.
I'll be holding
Let's get one thing straight out of the way. The answer to if we like it or not was definitely yes. This was one of our favorite destinations so far. We spent here 3.5 weeks. I was planning on doing it even longer. Maybe like next time we're gonna do like a longer visa. But I want to do like more than just yes, we liked it. I want to go more in depth on the places we have been in, the people we have met, like local people, other tourist people, and overall what you can see here and what we maybe also like the most, and also like a few things, you know, I'm not just gonna talk like only about the good sides, also a few things that you maybe as a ambitious traveler who wants to go to the Philippines as well needs to keep in mind. Or if you're from the Philippines and you're just interested in my opinion on what I liked and maybe did not like as much, this is upcoming, but 90% of the things are definitely things that I did like. And let me give you kind of like a quick summary of what we have done and where we have been here. So a few months ago we made the decision to not try to see it all in the Philippines. At first my idea was to go kind of like the regular route as most people do at the moment, to do like most of Cebu and then head over to Palawan and then head out again. So 2 weeks Cebu, 2 weeks Palawan. But for me, I don't like to be on the go every day, to not have the time to really enjoy what you have seen, and especially also with the video work. I've been putting out videos every day. So if you're new here on the channel or you have just seen a few videos from the Philippines, I believe we have like almost 20, maybe even more than that, we'll see. And definitely some of the sickest footage have been shot in this beautiful country. Made the decision to only explore most of the Cebu area, to really go in depth and have some more time to maybe even go to one place, maybe even twice. And so far the decision has been a good one, because we already made the decision to come back in the near future, let's say like that. No definite dates yet. So basically we got into Cebu, spent here just like 2 days. From there we went to Bohol. In Bohol we at first, I believe we booked accommodation for 5 days. We have been staying at a really cool place, kind of like outside of the tourist area. And there we at first really experienced kind of like the village vibe. We noticed it here in the country everywhere. There are so many people. It's such a young country, you know. Most people that you see are kind of like either kids, teenage age, or young adults. And I've looked it up on the internet. The average age of Filipinos is very, very young. Do you know what it is? Well, you can look it up yourself or put it in the comments below, but I believe it's like below 35 or something. So this is what we have noticed in the Bohol. Like the first thing is that there, like in other like touristy countries and touristy areas, you very often don't really see like real life and real people. And here in the Philippines, almost everywhere, like kids have been running around, families have been going about their way. And this is what I really enjoyed. I would say this is number one what I enjoyed most in the Philippines, that you really were able to get an authentic experience, to kind of like, as an outsider, as a foreigner, you have been able to kind of like dive into the culture, into how the people are living. And back there, it's like a buffalo. Looks pretty crazy. Check that out. Without really feeling like, in some places you sometimes feel like this is set up for you as a traveler, as a tourist. Everything is geared towards your needs and expectations. And here you were just like part of something bigger. And even though, like, this is the second point and I'm gonna come to, people were very much noticing you at these places and they were very interested in who you are and what you do, you still had really the opportunity to dive in. And especially we have been like spending a lot of our time on our scooters, so we have been just like driving by very small villages, and we have been able to just see how people go about their daily lives in such a different environment than what we're used to. And that's why we also prolonged our stay in Bohol and Panglao. From 5 days we went to like 8 days. There we did like the staple things like the chocolate hills.
Roll in a circle. You need to together.
deer sanctuary. And what I enjoyed there the most was like the ride from Panglao to Bohol, one of the most scenic ride, as I mentioned in the vlog that I did during that time. So from Panglao, Bohol, we took a ferry to Siquijor Island. Siquijor Island is kind of like a very small island, just like 2 hours to make a loop around with a scooter. And there on the first day, Judy got kind of sick, so we only really had 1 day to explore. But let me tell you one thing, this was one of the most intense days. So we have been doing cliff jumping there. And in Siquijor, it was the first time that we really kind of like had like approached a few locals, really got a connection with the people here. And I remember this one time we have been playing with kids basketball. Jordan, that's how you do it. All right, so actually we stopped by this basketball court because there was no one on here and there was a ball, so I was like, let's throw a few. But now we have plenty of opponents, and you know, choose your opponents wisely so you can win as well. And Judy is killing it here. GGT unit.
Your shorts.
What? Actually, we just stopped by a basketball court, and then like 10-20 little kids ran out of the houses and wanted to play with us. And especially kids, you know, you see like here the brightest smiles. They're always like super excited to see you and to talk to you. And what I noticed also during that time, and what I really enjoyed, is like the influences, the religious and the colonial influences on the Philippines. Like, you know, you have a lot of churches and everything looks Spanish, and I really definitely really enjoyed that, because in Southeast Asia before, like in other countries like Thailand, we experienced something different, also very nice and interesting. But here I really enjoyed it, that it was so much different, and they have been like really all over the place. Like if you drive with a scooter, like every 10-15 minutes you have been seeing a church. And definitely like a very big thing in the Philippines that I have not really seen anywhere else is that the people are always outside, and they're like indulging in like So the next stop from Siquijor has been Dumaguete City. We spent there like 4 or 5 days, mainly to do day trips from there. We went to the Manyoyot sandbars. This was like one of the best shots, drone shots ever. Alright, so back on the boat here, as you see, the water is like as blue as it freaking gets.
Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead.
And one situation from Dumaguete that I remember very precisely is I was debating on whether or not I should fly my drone like right in the city, and there was like a police guy. So usually whenever you ask like an official, sometimes they're not sure and they just tell you like no drone flying, even though it is allowed in many places. And this guy was just like, well, the rules are that you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to, I don't know, drink or something, and do this and that, but we don't have any drone laws, so you are very welcome to fly it, just be careful. So the main thing was there really that he was super chill about it, you know, like very rarely you find people where they're like, he's just like, there are no regulations for it that I know of, so why not, you know. And usually other people like, every time I asked about like flying the drone, when I was unsure, even though it was allowed, it was like, well, like the police guy or the security or whatever was like, well, I'm not sure, so you're not allowed to do it. And there I was really surprised about the very positive and the very not just that he said that it is okay, but the way he said it and the really chill vibe about it from like, you know, from like an official, from like a police person. So that was really cool. And yeah, overall Dumaguete has been like, kind of like a bigger city, a lot of things going on.
But we heard about the biggest party going down in Dumaguete. As you hear, the people are going crazy. Like, we cannot even walk here. Like, check it out. Come on, girl, hit the dance floor. Don't be shy, guys.
Side, this was just a pharmacy, but these people were going like a little bit too crazy. But these are the Philippines. Like everywhere music is playing.
I got you. Let's go, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Also good to see kind of like a different side, because we do love like beaches and very like calm areas. But after 1 or 2 weeks, we just need to get out there. We need like stuff to be going on. There was a great gym in Dumaguete, so this was awesome.
It's gonna be another cog in the scene. You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you want it to be. I feel hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me. Chill out.
Yeah, let's hit the gym.
That's right. I swear to God that I could drop you, bro. I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.
And from Dumaguete we headed out to Moalboal, and unexpectedly this was like very developed, a lot of tourism going on there, a lot of resorts, and there we have been doing like Sardine Run and Kawasan Falls. And
Okay, so we just got out of the water. Judy was attacked again by a jellyfish.
as you see, I'm gonna give you again an example of like the hospitality of the people here. Like let me get one thing straight out of the way. Like one of the best things for every Western European, American, Australian is that they speak English here, and you know, language, to be able to understand each other is like key, you know, key for sympathy and understanding. So we like another situation that I wanted to mention in Moalboal. We have been at the Kawasan Falls. We arrived there pretty early, and this was great because like 2 hours later, like a lot of tourists came in, and there have been so many people. But we have been there almost to ourselves. The only people that have been there has been like a huge Filipino family. They had kind of like a celebration or something. They had a huge feast, and they just invited us to join. We didn't really were keen for it. We weren't hungry or anything, but just like the fact that in other countries, I think it would be pretty rare. I can surely say that from the place where I'm from, it would be very, very rare to somebody who you don't know anything about, to a foreigner, to just be like so open and to invite like into your family context and situation and celebration. Oh yeah, good rhyme. So yeah, these were kind of like the situation that I had in mind, and this is kind of like a quick summary of what we did and have seen here.
When you cried for me, hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me.
Alright, so up here, 20 meters. Let's do it.
Cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything.
Alright, so the first one was already pretty good, but it wasn't the full height. So that's number 2, without the vest. Let's do it.
It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Just stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
Let me tell you one thing, like as I already kind of mentioned, is I thought that the scenery and the nature here would be similar to other places that we have seen in Southeast Asia before, but what like surprised me so much is that here we have literally seen the bluest water of all time. So I heard it is very blue, but I was like, yeah, I've seen blue water there, and there was this nice blue beach. but here like literally almost every place has extremely blue water with different like tones of blue. Some are like an emerald blue, other like neon blue, so like that has like a dense emerald blue at the Balikasak Island, one of the most beautiful beaches. Like this is just like 1 hour off the Panglao Bohol Island, and we did there like a tour with a boat, and also like the tour guide that we have been talking to, big thumbs up for that. The people here who are selling the tours, there are a lot of them like in any other touristy beachy places, but here they haven't been like super pushy like there in other places. I appreciated it, definitely. Alright, so the tour is starting from South Beach. We have 6 people on the boat. Guess it's gonna be pretty chill. Our tour guide, what was it?
I'm Albert.
Albert, let's do it. Guess that we are talking a lot about like, you know, the people and relationships and the hospitality. Like definitely I need to mention not necessarily the negative side, but something that you, if you like want to travel to the Philippines, or if you want to know my opinion, is what has been kind of like a little bit, how do you say it, challenging, was that people definitely want to charge you a lot more than what the appropriate price would actually be. Whenever you want to get into a taxi, whenever like let's say yesterday we've been going to Cebu from Moalboal, and they wanted to charge us like double and triple to go like on a special bus that they arrange for you, and very often you just like to have to fight a little bit and to get like a decent price. Also like with tricycles and taxis, 20 people trying to let us pay much more for this ride to Cebu. We are on the bus. It's like, so my main advice would be that I just learned like in bigger city just like to take taxis that have meters, or use Grab. But in some places they just don't have it, like on smaller islands. So this is definitely kind of like a challenge. It's not necessarily a negative, but for some, like if you are watching, you're thinking about going to the Philippines, be aware that here you're going to be in a lot of situations where you're either going to overpay. So 100. All right, 100. Let's do it. This is not like I'm very willing to pay like double, triple the price, you know, as a local person would do, to support the communities, to support the people. But to be ripped off never feels good, and I would never in life pay like for a little bun back at home like $2 or something. I would just not do that. And this is just something that you have to keep in mind. I wasn't really like mad about that, but that's the reality, and it's the reality in many countries that are kind of like on this type of development level. And this is also like what you're gonna see, like a lot of, especially of the bigger cities, are a little bit, how to say it, the infrastructure is not very well developed. There's gonna be a lot of traffic jams, a lot of like hooping, you know. So that's also what you have to keep in mind. And if you have seen like one of the first videos, a lot of people have been a little bit, how to say it, maybe a little bit offended that I say like that some people have been looking at us a lot. So we arrived, we had a little bit of a culture shock here in the Philippines, because we got a lot of attention, you know, just arriving in the airport. Basically the people are extremely interested in who you are and what you're doing, and back here, and you walk down the street and like 30 men at like a construction site look at you and maybe like be like, hey, hello. You're just not sure on what you think and what these people really want from you. But just like after 1 or 2 weeks, especially like in the smaller communities, we realized that really with most people it's just curiosity, and most people want to help you out. I remember another situation we have been in, also Siquijor Island, where we're like stopping by like a little village house, and there's a woman standing outside, and Judy is saying like, should we stop here? Maybe this woman doesn't want us to stop here. And then she's like, oh, are you looking for the beach? And we're like, oh yeah. And you know, just like perfect English, an older woman in like a very small village in the Philippines. So definitely it has been a little bit of a mind blow to us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the other side that I said, like with the negotiation and with, you know, people paying a lot of attention to you, looking at you, it's just like things that you have to keep in mind. And to travel to the Philippines, you definitely have to be a little bit more of the adventurous type of person, because in a lot of situations, especially if you want to go to places that are not like on a super common road, sometimes you're gonna have to play by ear. And like in terms of like transportation, some routes are not so developed, so you have to like just go out and talk to the people and look like for a boat to take you out on a specific island or something. So it's a lot of fun, but it is also challenging, and to do that every day can be a little bit tiring, but it's definitely worth it, that I can say. And yeah, with that, we're gonna pretty much end it. Like the main gist of this video is the nature is absolutely beautiful. We have some of the bluest waters here, and the main adding part to the whole package is what really made the Philippines stick to us is that the people are very hospitable. They have perfect English, so you're gonna be able to really communicate and to be like on like one, how to say it, really with a lot of people I've been just feeling like back at home, you know, you have been really able to like communicate and talk to them. Like some people just approached me on what I'm doing with like the videos, and they were like, yeah, I'm gonna watch your videos, and they also like hit me up on this social media later, so this was really cool. And before we're gonna end this video, let me tell you one thing. Like, I'm definitely super keen to come back. I'm already been looking at flights, how much the flights are from Germany to Manila or something, so that's maybe gonna happen even this year. If not, it's gonna be latest last year, next year, and I'm super excited for that. And at that time, my plan is to do kind of like Palawan and probably Siargao. So this have been also like the main recommendations. And again, I'm gonna take like probably a few weeks, maybe a month to do like these two destinations. Because as I said, I think it was a good decision to just do one part of the country and rather come back on a later point and still have the time to put out the videos, to really enjoy the time here. And yeah, if you're watching this video right now and you watched until all the end of this video, this has been kind of like a huge rant. I hope you enjoyed kind of like my insights. But let me tell you one thing, like this journey is not over. If you're kind of like new on the channel, let me tell you one thing. We have been traveling now for 8 months to 14 different countries, and the next country is already coming up in 1 or 2 days. We're gonna be in Hong Kong, and then we're gonna be in China, Shenzhen. And this is like, even if you're just here for the Philippine videos, this is gonna be super exciting. It's a huge city with a lot of things going on. In China, we're gonna go to like one of the biggest fake markets. I just heard of it. To me, it looks very interesting. So these are the videos that are expecting you in the next few days. So definitely consider subscribing if you haven't yet. And with that, thank you very much for watching. As always, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and I see you in the next one. You got a world to see.